Whoa, Nagi, you got a whole gaggle of men fighting over you, bro. How's it feel like to be Sagi for once? What's up, guys? Alphonse here, and here we are to do a little breakdown / live reaction and review to chapter 21 of episode Nagi, which is known as Overcoming Weakness. And I'm very, very interested. Once again, this is sort of, it's kind of like none of this matters, right? Like in a general scheme, because we know everyone makes it. Literally, everyone in this match makes it to the Neo-Egotist. Like, we haven't seen Hiragi play, but we know he's there. In fact, he's on Manshine. I don't think it'll matter by the time of the main narrative, though. I don't see Hiragi making the top 21. I think he is a cut character eventually. But even then, every other character in this match, we know, makes it to U20. Not just U20, but actually Neo-Egotist League. And don't get me wrong, I don't see Hiragi being important, but simply adding this depth, this background, this new dimension to this era of Blue Lock, which in my opinion is one of the most interesting eras considering how competitive it was, how much mystery there is, and how good these games could be. I'm very, very excited. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a blue pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And of course, you know what this is. Even if it ain't the main series, it's still peak lock, which means peak every month. I can't say peak every week. I can't even say peak every week for Blue Lock, because Blue Lock's on break this week. But, yeah! You know I got a pre-draw. You know Blue Lock is peak lock. You know what it is, But let's see. I'm very interested, because this seems like it's going to be a Chigiri and Barou focused chapter, which is especially interesting, right? Because when you think about it, by the time of Neo-Egotist League, and even by the time of U20, these two still have weaknesses. Blatant weaknesses attached to the weaknesses that they addressed in chapter 20. So I'm very interested to see how they overcome weakness in this specific scenario, yet don't overcome weakness to the point where they can have the same problems that need to be resolved later on in the narrative. And of course, there are definitely different weaknesses that get addressed. Like in U20, Chigiri's main weakness is stamina. In U20, Barou's main weakness is the fact that he just wasn't the best striker at the time. He was up there, but he wasn't the best striker, and he didn't have any sort of facilitating role or supporting role like Isagi could play. So he was fielded as a joker, a last resort kind of thing to do. So I'm interested to see, and of course by, Neo-Egotist League, it's the fact that he's still mostly just a striker, which is fine. Blue Lock's whole goal is to make the best striker in the world, but that lack of versatility ends up biting him. I'm interested to see how they overcome weakness. Let's take a look. We're not giving you Nagi. Yeah, let's go, princess. Let's overcome our weaknesses. I'm sorry, bro. I don't care if the comparison's accurate. You're not calling me Prince. I don't even care that you're like 6... I think Nagi's 6'3"? I don't even care that you're 6'2", 270 pounds of pure muscle, bro. We've got... Dude, I'm sorry. I'm going for your shins, gosh darn it, if I can't reach your face because you're that much taller than me. But like, and just like drop kick him, because you know Chigiri's at perfect standing height. You know how strong that leg is? Put that extendo leg, that torn ACL leg, and just boom, straight down there. Because no, you're not calling me princess. Live on air? Well, admittedly, this one isn't live on air. They're lucky. This isn't being broadcast anywhere. But like, come on now. I'm not letting you set this precedent. We have to run smoke. I love how Nagi just doesn't even have a reaction. He's like, oh. So this is how Isagi feels. But I guess it makes sense, right? Because notably, that's the thing about Nagi, especially during this time period in particular. His goal, other than beating Isagi, naturally, and he doesn't want to lose, which is also natural considering he just lost. But notably, Nagi in this time period kind of builds into the fugue state we find him in by Neo-Egotist League. When you think about it. Like, remember, by the start of Neo-Egotist League, Nagi was kind of like directionless. He was still good at what he did. He still was arguably my favorite character in the series before the character regression. But that's the thing, he was just good at what he did. So his lack of stake in this, and the obvious implication that he's the main thing that's up for grabs here, it's not like Hiragi, Nico, and Zantetsu want Chigiri or Barou. They specifically want Nagi. It makes sense, but it's also funny to see him be like, me? Y'all, are y'all Rayo and Isagi? Like, what do y'all want from me? Let's see. Yeah. Huh? Did you two figure out how to win? Nagi's like, whoa, wait a minute. Why was I not on the plan? Y'all know the path? Y'all know the way? Because right now I'm still lost. That's funny. Let's see. More or less. Come on, you guys. Huh? I haven't figured out anything, though. They're both genuinely sweet. Here's the thing. That's the unfortunate thing about prequels. Unfortunately, this is just a thing that has to happen when you do prequels. Notably, a big prequel thing that I've been like getting a lot of stuff on in my feed recently is Undertale Yellow. I've been watching like the same 2 videos over and over again, and like whatever little branch out videos I get from there. But Undertale Yellow, it's very limited by its prequel status, but what it does is similar to what episode Nagi does. It ends up coinciding with the main narrative and adding extra dimensions to existing characters when it can, but then mostly focuses on original characters or characters who haven't gotten too much spotlight in the main series or in the proper series. And now, of course, episode Nagi and Brain Black. The episode Nagi and Undertale Yellow have a fundamental difference. Undertale Yellow is a fan game, meanwhile episode Nagi is canon, but ultimately that ends up leading to an even heavier restriction that all prequels will fall into. You kind of can't let characters learn too much from prequels, because then it doesn't make sense by the time of the later series. So, and here's the thing that's especially hard with episode Nagi, is the fact that the main series is still happening concurrently. And right now, by the time of the main series, Nagi's in a drought. And considering we're covering PXG versus BM right now in the main manga, you can't. Like, you really can't do anything with Nagi too deep character-wise other than reestablish and beef up things that are already done before. So I get why Nagi didn't figure anything out, because he's not allowed to. It's sort of, once again, but that's the same thing with Chigiri and Barou, but that's why I'm interested to see their sort of pseudo-solutions that are end up feeding into their problems that they have later. And I hope Nagi gets one too, but that's the thing. It's the conceit. It's the conceit of writing a prequel or I'm not sure what you would technically call it, because prequels typically come out once the original work is complete. Blue Lock's likely not going to be complete for at least, unless we start skipping, like unless we start straight leaping through games, which I highly doubt. We have, even with just the 23 players that we're going to have by the time of the World Cup arc, there are so many different combinations and combos and hypothetical goals and hypothetical team-ups and hypothetical character development. I could see Blue Lock easily. Remember how long the U20 match was? Remember how long Uber's was? Even, especially considering we're going to have to be setting up new characters every single time we leap into a match, unless we start to overlap and reuse some characters. Unless we start to reuse characters like Kaiser, Ness, Grim, Eric, Lorenzo, whoever else. I think Drago from Uber's. And like the bearded guy from, like, there's so much setup that's going to have to be done mid-match that I could easily see Blue Lock reaching 500 chapters. I know that sounds crazy to some, because 500 chapters in the weekly manga world could literally mean 6 or 7 more years. But that's the thing. Blue Lock has that kind of availability built into it based on how it's structured. But thanks to that, this prequel... oh, I shouldn't have used the mic. I'm sorry. But this prequel is sort of limited by the main manga, which has Nagi in a fugue state, meaning you can't give him anything that makes him leave the fugue state, or would... I mean, I guess you can hint to it. That's it's the thing about prequels. I still like it though. Once again, this is an interesting time period to flesh out, even if we know what's going to happen. I just want to go on a little prequel rant, mainly because I don't really cover prequels. When I think about it, every other series on the channel that I cover, whether it be something like Four Nights or JJK or anything like that, none of this like prequel stuff. Because they're very rare. They're hard to write. Like, it's why you find me being a defender, and I know people have grown soft on them in the more recent years, but it's why I've always kind of been a defender of the prequel for Star Wars. And I'm talking about the movies. Obviously, a lot of people love Clone Wars and stuff like that, and Clone Saga. Like, a bunch of the TV shows and external materials, and a lot of the Legends content is very heavily favored by the fandom, and it's why a lot of people had problems with the whole switch over to the mouse. But, with that being the case, I've always been more defensive of them, because they have the limits. Like, you can't do too many things within the bounds of the narrative established, which is why you do have to do a whole bunch of setup. But this, unfortunately, isn't even a prequel in the sense that the prequels were, the Star Wars prequels, where they literally could jump 30 years in the past and could completely establish a whole new separate cast and introduce all these characters and have some references, but not too many references, because you could kind of build whatever you want because of the loose vagueness of that time period. Everything needs to take place during the time of Blue Lock. You can't go any further back than that. So, this is interesting. Let's see. Have they figured out how to return from the brink of death? Okay, Zantetsu, drop a bar. You mean brink? Oh, drink of death. How did I... You know, funny thing though. Apparently that's a thing that we as creatures just do. Like Like, I remember there's like some meme that like goes over like, hey, were you able to read this entire thing normally? Look again. And I looked back and I was like, none of those words are words. But apparently like the brain will fill it. But then again, that's not what should have happened there. I read brink, even though it starts with a D. So I'm just stupid. But let's see. You mean brink of death? So close. It's poor Nico. He's outside of Hiragi's smart too. That's the thing. It's mainly deadly, bro. No way. Big data and statistics can't be overturned so easily. So allow us to mercilessly sink you, trio of fools. That's the once again, I like how well Hiragi set up here, that it saddens me that there's absolutely no way he's in the top 23. This is Hiragi's one and only appearance. We're never seeing him again. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. I mean, maybe once we get to Manshine, we may get a run, and I mean, get to Manshine as in episode Nagi, and like, who knows how many years from now. Once again, presumably, I don't know, that's the thing though, you can't, once you get past second selection, I guess you can have a little chunk, oh no, you can flush out a couple of the games at third selection. But then U20, you can't really give Nagi too much more. Unless you just have him consistently react to all the other goals. Because he's the first goal. And then, I hate to say it, but after the first goal in U20, Nagi kind of goes radio silent. He does very, very little after that. I mean, he does some facilitation here and there, but he doesn't actually do too much in U20 after his first goal. Which, of course, big enough, obviously. He did a fine enough job there. But, yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the pacing of episode 9 is going to look like once we leave the selections. We'll probably flesh out some of the other Manshiny games, though. So we'll probably have a little bit of perspective reacting. I don't see U20 being longer than, like, 3 chapters. I know that sounds so crazy, considering how big of a match U20 is in canon. Well, not in canon. In the pencil, no! But I know that's crazy to say, considering how hefty of a chunk. I think U20 is, like, a fifth of the narrative. Like, I think it is straight 50 chapters. Because I think it starts around the 100s, or, like, right before the 100s, and ends around, like, the 150s. Like it's a fifth of the narrative. But for episode Nagi, once again, just because of how little Nagi does, I just don't really see Kaneshiro Sensei being able to stretch it all too much, dragging out the reactions all too much. But Hiragi, man, I really wish we could get to see more. He's one of the more, once again, as Nagi points out last chapter, but then again, he really isn't, in a way. He's kind of a fusion of Nagi and Isagi in playstyle. But in terms of mentality, he's kind of a fusion of Rin and Isagi with the utilization of data and the willingness to manipulate others and use their weaknesses against them. Which I guess is something Isagi does innately, but Hiragi has a special flavor to it, and I think his unique playstyle is really going to make me miss him after this point. Because I just know we're never seeing him again. But let's see. So allow us to mercilessly sink you, trio of fools. I got the tarot card on deck. Restart. Look at the movements. Look at the movement. Look at the dash. Okay, Chigiri. Okay, Chigiri. Once again, it goes to show how good you can be in the manga field that I didn't know. In fact, I'm going to look it up because I want to give them their proper due credit. Especially since I only cover their artwork only once a month in comparison to how consistently, I end up covering the Moto. Whoa! I did not even notice that it happened. Wait, fight back, no! Coming up. What's happening? Why are you suddenly so heavy? Is it because I lifted up the Googler? Is that it? Get up there. I'm so sorry. Editing me, if you have to do something with that, I apologize, bro. But let me see, who does the art for episode Nagi? Episode Nagi artist. I remember mentioning early on when I first started viewing episode Nagi, the art looks slightly off, but it's so similar to the original, and in fact has some shots that I like more than the original art style. No. Episode Nagi, who does the art for? I don't think it's Nomura. I'm pretty sure it's somebody else. Monieki Kaneshiro and Yusuke. Oh, is it still Nomura? I could have sworn it was somebody else. Okay. Illustration done by Koto Sanomiya. Sanomiya Sensei. I'm gonna mess up their names for a while. And with the inconsistency of episode Nagi content, I will consistently have to look that up. But Sanomiya Sensei, fantastic taking of Nomura's art style, which isn't even considered. Check out some of Nomura's other works. There's some parallels, but Nomura's art for Blue Lock is very different from a lot of his previous works, at least in my opinion. But able to take Nomura's art style and Nomura's character style, yet still add their own flair, that it never feels too disjointed from the original. And whatever disjoints that happen are typically better. This kind of dynamism is something, it's a pose that Nomura definitely would hit and could hit, no doubt about it, but in this tiny of a panel space right here, it's really, really nice. I love the fluidity in motion. I love the striking of the pose. I love also the angle that the pose is drawn from. It's very difficult. Like, and of course, you know, your boy is not a professional artist. Got degrees, not in art. Shockingly enough. That guy with the pencil, but then I have an art degree. So take everything I say. I feel like I always got to put this disclaimer on things for a good reason. But take everything I say with a grain of salt, because your boy is not a professional artist. But at least to me, it's very difficult to draw sprinting head on. You do need to get that bend of the neck, the lean forward, the ability to show the drive of the legs, and like, this is impressive to me. And this isn't no spread. This isn't no gigantic thing. This is a seemingly important part because it's what grabs Nico's attention. But this is a lower third part of a page. Fantastic work, Sanamio Sensei. Let's see. Rather than a wider area where he excels, he's running straight into a crowded area where he can't easily leverage his speed. And you know what? And once again, that's a benefit of prequels, or once again, I guess a pseudo prequel. I can see how this is going to be implemented later, by the time of Manshine. Because what is Chigiri's ability in Manshine once it's established and expanded on? Oh, yeah, I do the dash and make it go fast, quickly, in short bursts, for those tighter areas, for those one-on-ones. He kind of, low-key, I'm not going to say he basically steals Yuki Maya's whole flow, but he kind of steals Yuki Maya's whole flow in terms of the ability to use the 1v1 purely to his advantage. Except Chigiri is more stop and go, while Yuki Maya is more fluid and, I don't want to say uniform, because Chigiri is technically more uniform with the stop, go, stop, go, break, go. But I can see the start of that here, where he's using his speed in the shorter bursts against shorter people. That sounds bad. I think only Nico's shorter than him. Santetsu is taller than Chigiri. But using that shorter burst and his speed in a more localized area, which causes confusion, considering, especially like Nico said, and like he noted, Chigiri always tries to, at least by this point in the narrative, go for a more open area. He actually kind of does not like to run ones unless the ones are strictly speed-based, where he'll dominate still in an open area. And that, in the past, has led to his downfall. The most famous one I can think of is when Nagi and Isagi ended up intercepting him all the way back in first selection, where Nagi was like, "What's good, Broski? This is a whole wide space. I see you coming this way. I know you can't pivot." And then Isagi was like, "I know he can't pivot either," and I'm here right in front of Nagi. Let's see. "He won't let me run freely anyway, right? Then I'll drag you all in, and I'll die with my weakness." Okay, Chigiri. Drop a bar then. Drop a bar. Okay. Then I'll die with my weakness. Talk that talk then, Chigiri. Get a little bit devious. Get a little bit diabolical with it. Okay. Jungle Ram. Ooh. Once again. Yeah, but here's. I can see a light. I can see the vision. Once again. Except he's using it in a 2v1 scenario. Where by the time of Manshine, by the time of Neo Eutist, he'll use it in a 1v1. And typically, unless I'm mistaken, he doesn't have the ball here. Yeah, he kicks the ball to Nagi. So he's using this purely offensively without the ball. Where by the time of Manshine, he'll evolve this to be able to do this offensively with the ball, which allows Chigiri to have one of the more consistent goal scoring formulas. Because typically, unless he runs into another speedster, as long as he has the ball, Chigiri can mostly guarantee you a goal, which is the whole point of formulas. Let's see. Huh? What the heck? I didn't expect something like this. Oh. You've thought this through, Chigiri-kun. He realized that his speed is a threat to us. Yeah. I mean, like, notably, look at Mbappe. What does everyone know Mbappe? I don't even watch football consistently enough to know Mbappe or soccer or football, whatever, that well. Man's a pace merchant. That man's I say pace merchant, like that's a bad. He's a speed demon. That's the main thing. He's like a sprinter. And of course, a lot of soccer players are sprint, but that's the main thing he abuses, that speed. And notably, any sport like soccer, or football, whichever you want to call it, unlike something, but I guess American football has the perks with speed too, or something more physical on a rugby sense, with the way soccer is played, if you're just able to outpace your opponents and keep control of the ball, yeah, You'll be pretty dominant. What are they supposed to do? What? Stop you? They can't do that. If they can't catch you. Well, let's say. He realized his speed is a threat to us, so he's trying to get us to cover him and cluster in the center. Ah, interesting. Using the zigzag. Personally, if I was Chigiri, I just zoom past them. I would, because notably the thing with the coagulation, and I get why this ends up, well, it's probably going to work here, but I get why this does end up being his main strategy later, and he ends up refining it further. Because, like, all you need to do in this scenario is just not all gank him, and, like, predict where he's going to be. Someone like Nico, who's going to get Metavision later, would be able to do. So I could see why this doesn't end up being his long-term strat, just a temporary solution to deal with these people who have a very specific counter to his speed. Let's see. Now that both sides are open. Nice bait and switch, princess in distress. Chigiri, stop the game. Get a red card right now. Chigiri, you can't let them talk on you like this. You can't. Please, Chigiri. Chigiri, I'm begging you, bro. Fight back. Fight back, please. Let's see. Nice bait and switch. Princess in distress. Nagi and Barou can move freely. Yeah, but that's the thing. Once again, of course, it would be better if you could, like, have someone fast enough to keep up with Chigiri to make sure he doesn't get too open. But in a future scenario, as long as they aren't focused on this coagulation and can kind of essentially read the bait, because this is bait. It's very clearly bait. Let's just send two people after them. Especially a guy on Barou, who he's speedy. He has the chop drill and everything, but I wouldn't, well, I guess kind of maybe. He's not top 5, obviously. He's not top 3 either. But like in terms of speed, Barou isn't too crazy. And same thing with Nagi. I feel like you could, but then again, Nagi's actually established to be kind of fast. But in a scenario like this, where you lead with this sort of bait strategy, as long as they don't take the bait, you can stop it. So I see why Chigiri evolves. Nagi and Barou can move freely. This is bad. We're good here. So go, Zantetsu-kun. Oh, wait. Giving Nico way too deep a voice. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, it's not that high. This is bad. We're good here, Zantetsu. We're good here. So go, Zantetsu. Time to speed race. I mean, I guess that's technically not wrong. That's not incorrect. Like, I guess it is. It could be time to speed race. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. Too bad, Zantetsu. Bye-bye. Oh! Look at Nagi with the pass. No! Look at Barou cooking. Look at Barou cooking. Oh, yeah, but yeah, okay, good. Immediately. Hiragi got in his case. You know what, though? I probably still would have left Zantetsu. Then again, I guess, like, that's the thing. No one except for Hiragi really has, like, good physical matchups against anybody here. But, like, I would leave the Speedster with the Speedster. Especially if the primary Speedster, Chigiri in this case, specifically loses to Zantetsu in acceleration battles. Chigiri has a higher top speed, but he doesn't have the same burst movement that Zantetsu does. So a scenario like this, I would most likely have sent Zantetsu after him. Nico, I would have risked your chances, but at the same time, I guess blocking Nagi as the ball, you use the guy who can get there quicker. Let's see. I see. Hiyoma Chigiri dove straight into his weakness to turn it into a strength. Flipping it on its head. Once again, yeah, and that's true in weird ways, and I say this completely unironically as a person with a bunch of weaknesses. Do you guys see? I'm weakness central. But one of the things that I agree with, if you do have a weakness, you can try and fix it. I do think fixing is important, but if you can use that weakness to your advantage, do that. If you're not good at one thing, but that incidentally makes you good at another thing, be good at the other thing. You don't have, essentially what I'm trying to say is, weaknesses do not have to be mutually exclusive. You can do both. But let's say, dove straight into his weakness and turn it into a strength. Now then, Shohei Barou-kun, please show me how a king overcomes his weakness. Oh! Well, once again, that's another thing I just wouldn't do. I would not call Barou king. Maybe, and I know Barou would want smoke with me. I'm 2 feet tall, so like Barou would literally kick me into a goal. But still, I am never, even mocking, I'm not calling you king, bro. I'm simply not. Not my king. Nope. we will we would probably get into heated conflicts. He's gonna be like, "Why don't you call me king?" And I'm like, "What do you rule?" Because it sure ain't me. we would definitely have some smoke over that. But once again, I understand Hidagi's doing it mainly out of like, go ahead, king. Let's see how you cook a little bit. Let's see. Please show me how a king overcomes his weakness. Yeah! Do my eyes deceive me? Is that Barou after retcon? Because like notably Barou, it's funny because Barou gets a whole bad reputation for not he passes in his first game. When we first get introduced to Barou, he literally passes. So Barou not ever passing is sort of like a retroactive continuity thing, but like Barou post retcon immediately passing? That's not diving into your weakness. That's just straight up overcoming it. And that's interesting because he pretty much immediately regresses by the time of U20 and Neo Egotist. Huh. I guess desperate times call for desperate, but he never, I don't know, that's crazy. He didn't even want to work with Snuffy because he'd have to coordinate with him. But the man's passing? Okay, golly. Huh? Barou made a pass? Ooh, okay, Chigiri with the trap. Once again, this is a horrid match. Nico, my son, get out of there. You're going to be stampeded over. Nico, please, fight away. I bet you thought my weakness was my personality, you fortune-telling fraud. Oh, okay. Why is it? See, I don't know. I spend a lot of time laughing at Blue Lock dialogue, especially when it's literally just emojis. But like, sometimes they be dropping bars. You fortune-telling fraud. Like, Barou, the rest. Stop it. Let's see. Fortune-telling fraud. Well, unfortunately, Shohei Barou isn't so easily boxed in by big data. I guess, yeah, that's his main selling point, ironically enough. Despite him having, like, a pretty linear scoring system, like, the way he does play is explicitly meant to be, like, a counter. It's kind of why I was hoping he'd be more of a hard counter to Metavision, which I'll admit, we kind of just didn't... Okay, Barou. You had me with the fortune-telling fraud bar, and you immediately lost me. But, for what I was saying... He kind of has a linear goal scoring formula for the most part. Get to X range and shoot. But like, notably, the rest of his playstyle as an anti-Metavision tool, I mean, it kind of gets brought up in the fact that he scores on 2 Metavision users, but at the same time, And it's a new type of goal, too, that he uses to score on the 2 Metavision users, but I'm not sure. I feel like he's not as good as a Metavision counter as he should be, considering he does get shut down a whole lot, even post freeing himself from the system. But at the same time, I'm hoping we're probably going to get more of that, considering it's so new to him by that point. Hope we get more of that by U20, where he ends up shaking up the system a little bit more. Let's see. Barou, you just had to drop this lane behind bar, bro. Alright, let's hit it. I'm the most unexpected mutant in human history. Barou, if you don't shut up! Oh, but let's see. Huh? Don't give me that. You just chickened out and passed. I mean, in a way, yeah, he did. He clearly did not want smoke, but let's see how Barou gets past this. You're right. I don't want to pass. Right now, my insights are turning over. Every cell is furious. I'm on the verge of bursting into hives. Like, here's the thing about Barou. You'd think I'd relate to him more, because, like, I also don't like accepting help from people. After a certain point, I ain't like accepting help from my own family. Like, I'll be real. But I'll do it under forced circumstances. So I get Barou in that sense. But, like, it's hard, man. It's never that deep. It is never as deep as Barou makes it, I swear. Let's see. But basically, I'll pass as long as it's not too easy. But wait. I still don't get why you had such a big issue with Snuffy. I guess, because, like, if you're willing to do this, something this embarrassing, from your perspective, why were you so hesitant to work with Snuffy immediately to the point where you missed out on the first game? Barou could have easily been number 2, if not possibly number 1, if he had just worked with Snuffy from the start. So, like, Bucko, that's crazy. That's a buku bonkers, bro. What do you mean? Like, I swear this isn't canon. This breaks lore. I don't think it's too bad, though, because once again, that's the thing with Barou. Especially considering, unlike Chigiri, where his new playstyle kind of fundamentally opposes his old playstyle while taking aspects of it, Barou doesn't change. He changes in some senses, right? Like, he evolves as a leader and as a character somewhat. But, like, in terms of his playstyle, what else do you really give him? Unlike Chigiri, who has a very clear opposite, a weakness that is clearly highlighted, Barou and can be countered and showed in a different playstyle that feels in character and feels like it doesn't contradict anything that comes later. Barou is a little bit ooky spooky, if I do have to say so myself. Let's see.
Right now I'm at the bottom. Huh? If I can come back and beat Isagi in the future, then passing is a no big deal. This way I don't have any weaknesses, right? How's that for big data?
I guess, yeah. So okay. It seems that's so weird. I'll tell you, I'll rationalize this as it's something that Barou only did out of desperation and because he did not have his main rival there, as he says himself. I'll take that. Because otherwise, what? Let's see.
I see. Barou. It's just like a nomad lion that lost its throne.
God, why is this lion? I mean, it's so haggard, but it looks so good.
He's abandoned his pride for the sake of becoming king once more. A starving, counterattacking king of the beasts. Alright! Broke through their defense! Let's go, king! Run, princess!
Shohei Barou x Chigiri. Or a beast rush look at it! I know the thumbnail. Oh, this is the thumbnail. Unless they score. They have to score this chapter. It looks so clean. It looks so buttery. The lion and the cheetah. Oh, it's gas. What is this a cheetah? I think it should be a cheetah. Golly, look at the schmoo. Look at them. You killed it, Chigiri. I was vibing. You had to hit them. Bro really did the rock. Bro, why? Chigiri. We were doing so good. We were cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner, and a snack on the side. Yes. You really hit the rar. Chigiri, this is not helping the allegations. The allegations are only growing stronger, Chigiri. The allegations are going to win, Chigiri. You can't keep getting away with this. Chigiri. How could you do this to me? I trusted you, and you just left me to... Bro, why?
Fine. I can make it. Pass it. Last one.
Oh, okay, so this will probably help. No way. Rar. Man, Chigiri, bro, you had to kill the vibes, bro. I was vibing out so hard, you just had to kill it.
That was dirty, you freak. I'm over here
bashing myself.
With passes. Don't you dare steal the glory, you hyena princess.
I don't care. Okay, we'll give it back to you. I'm vibing again. I don't care. The early bird gets the goal. Oh, I love how he dodges. He straight up dodges far. Okay, I like that. You know what? If anything, this explains why Barou immediately reverts after that. Because he realizes that it doesn't really matter. Even if he does, set himself down, people will still rebel against him, so that's probably why he doubles down. Okay, so the chapter does justify it. It does justify it very, very well. Okay.
Darn it. I didn't know they could come up with a play like that. We don't have enough info. Look what you've done, Nikoku.
What is it for what? Hiragi, how's that his fault?
Sorry, but they I keep giving Nico such a deep voice. He's 15.
Sorry, but they're clearly thinking differently than before. Especially Chigiri and Barou-kun. Now that they've lost Isagi, I think they're trying to change in this match. Did he? Yo, that's good. Okay. This is fine. Okay, I like this. Chigiri and Barou are trying to get stronger. This is a very looking... Okay, I'll admit, this is a strange looking drawing of Nagi. Something about his face here. Chigiri and Barou are trying to get stronger. Let's get another one.
Next one's mine.
Okay, Barou. I want to change and get stronger too. Alrighty. Question mark? I'm gonna have to put a little cap on that. Let's see. I want to overcome my weakness.
Let's just relax for now. We're still in the lead. It's first to 5, so let's take this 1 point at a time. Okay, it's all about our
mild set. You can't fool me this time, Zantetsu. Mild set. Here's the thing, I'm dumb. Don't get me, I'm not intelligent. How do you fumble this hard, though? Like, I've met people who are much more physically inclined than they are mentally inclined, and thus never did anything to increase their mental inclination, which I don't blame them. Shoot. If you're going into professional sports, as long as you can sign your name, you don't need to be that smart. Just say yes to big contracts, say no to little contracts. But, unless a little contract is all you can get at first. But, I've never met anyone this explicitly do that. That's it. Why? Let's see. You mean mindset, right? And I keep giving Nico the default. You mean mindset, right? Nico, just give up, bro. Just give up.
The one I've got to deal with is you.
Oh, okay, Barou and Nico? This is violent. Oh, but look at my boy Nico. Look at him defending, bro. Look at him. Yikes. He caught me off guard. Nice rush, King. Ambush combo press. Okay, look at my goat. Look at my. I love Chigiri. Chigiri, not only in my opinion, is like a top 5 Neo Egoist League player. Like obviously he gets outclassed, but like your Isagi's, your Rins, your Shidos probably, and Barou overall. But I'd say he's number 5. He's also one of my favorite characters. I don't know. I just love Chigiri, bro. Let's see. Not like a lot of the fandom love Chigiri. But like a lot of people in universe love Chigiri. Not like that. But let's see. Ambush combo press. Ugh. Whoa, I'm not saying that word, Chigiri. Betrayal. Ruin. Was that the demon, Tenokar True? A hint directed at you, Nico. Oh! Huh? You picked the wrong team. Look at Chigiri. Okay, let go. Okay, the pass.
In that case, the hangman I drew was a hint for you, idiot 4 Eyes.
Oh, okay, so they're flipping the tarot meetings onto them. Okay.
Training, endurance, and growth through trials. Something like that, right? But that's too much for an idiot like you.
Oh, Barou, his neck. Stop.
Don't call me an idiot anymore. Just look, you lack endurance. So you're...
Oh, that's an interesting weakness for Zantetsu. I guess, once again, we just never get to see it. Because his games are never actually that long. Okay, I like that. Oh, but that's, ironically enough, that is a big weakness for Chigiri by the time you're 20.
Just look, you lack endurance, so your fate is chained.
Oh, is to be hanged by me. There we go. See, Chigiri, that's how you drop a bar. You don't roar, you drop bar. Let's see.
Is to be hanged by me.
Boom. That Baba Booey. No, are these guys for real? They're overcoming their weaknesses and controlling the flow. Oh, yeah, that's the thing about these chapters. The pace has to increase so quickly. And controlling the flow of the game. That's crazy. We don't even see them steal the ball again. They just do it. Chigiri scores. Let's see. It's true that I might have picked the wrong team. Did you have a choice, though? Did you really have a choice? That I might have picked the wrong team. I thought I could advance just by using my brain. So I picked players I could easily team up with. But at this rate, I'll be destroyed before I can face Isagi-kun again, in order to win and advance in Blue Lock. You need enough ego to survive, even if it means shaming yourself, or abandoning your pride. Is Nagi just... He has to get the final goal, right? That's crazy. Okay. Barou and Chigiri, man, they are tweaking. But that, once again, that's interesting. Barou doesn't do that. What causes his regression point? I'm actually genuinely interested. What causes his regression point at the time of Neo Egoist League? Maybe it still is right after this game, but that feels so weird that he's so willing to throw away his pride, considering how much of a part of his character that is. Golly, Hiragi, chill. But realize his screen time is almost up.
Who the heck do you ignoramuses think you are? The pipsqueak who self-destructed... Wait, what? Self-destructed with wrong info, and this 4-eyed single-celled organism with an idiot complex have lost their utility value.
Okay, Rod, cook them. Cook them. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You're gonna be cooked by Nagi, though. Let's see.
I'll settle this myself. Get around me. We're breaking through the center.
Okay, Hiragi. Let's see you get stopped. I assume this was gonna happen.
At this point, all I can trust is my own data and mind.
But your data's outdated, bro. Oh, never mind though. Look at him cooking.
In the end, other people are nothing more than data to help me live more conveniently.
In a weird way, yeah. Like, I mean, Hiragi's wrong in the sense that that's a sad way to live. But like, people are kind of data. like if you, it's of course, it's like a massive reductionist way to look at people. But like, heck, a lot of people believe free will doesn't even exist. We're just a consistent machination of tiny universal particles operating. And if you knew every single bit of information, you could predict every single choice we would ever make. So, like, on a macro, and that's on a macro scale. On a micro scale, yeah, I guess you could see people as just data and use it that way. That's what Hiragi's mindset is. How a lot of people live, especially other people at the time. They don't really see people; they see numbers. Well, let's see.
This guy's good. Who cares? Just crush him.
Okay, Barou, why don't you do it then?
With one attack, I'll show them the data known as a goal.
Ooh, that's an interesting way to put it. Oh, look at it. See, once again, look at this angle, bro. Beautiful, beautiful. Scrumdiddlyumptious.
Then these ignoramuses will gain hope, and
Hiragi-kun, Nico, don't fall for the okie doke. Nico, your character development, Nico. But then again, that's the thing. That's another sad thing about Nico by the time of Ubers. He fell for the okie doke. Like, his whole character journey was to get away from just falling into the shadow or the light casted by others. I suppose in Hiragi it's the light, and in Barou's case by the time it was just the shadow, but he's just so easily, but then he's 15, right? So teenagers in general are influential, or easily influenced, so I suppose this would be influential.
They'll change their attitude and regain their motivation, and that's how much people's hearts are controlled by data.
I mean, yeah.
So control them. I'll become the data known as a hero.
I was going to make a reference, but I don't think I will. And from the top row, where did you even come from? Nagi, where were you? I didn't even see you, bro. This became a Chigiri and Barou game. This is their chat. What do you... Bro, realize... Wait a second. My name's still on the cover of the volume. Hold on a second. This is my episode. Alright, Nagi.
Huh? Sashiro Nagi.
My weakness is that I'm a prodigy and therefore ignorant, right? Turtle liar guy? Oh, Brooks. Okay, Nagi. Talk to him then.
Turtle liar guy.
All these poor days being foisted upon him.
But I can't fix my soccer ignorance now. It's a pain, so I won't overcome my weakness.
Okay. That's how you do it. See, where Barou may have an issue because it doesn't, like, this chapter doesn't necessarily line up with Barou later in the narrative. Even if you just use the Isagi excuse, Isagi's not on Ubers. He never was on Ubers. There was no reason for him to not work with Snuffy if he was willing to sacrifice his pride like this before in an actual game. But Nagi, yeah, if he's not going to overcome his weakness, why bother? You don't have to worry about that. Let's see.
Ha! Time for a counter, Nagi. Pass it, Pain Man.
At a time like this, what would he say? Hop off his meat! Hop off! I don't care if he's the hero. Get off of it!
No, if he scores, it's all over. We'll hold him back.
I wonder what Rhea would say. No matter what, I end up thinking about... Oh, okay, so you realize it. Okay. Let's say, hop off! Maybe that's my real weakness. And see, that's the thing. If you know that, why did you relapse? Why did you be Nagi? Why? Oh, this it has so much legwork to do in terms of justifying Nagi's relapse.
Stop him! There's no data showing he can break through alone.
Of course. Ooh, once again, look at the dynamism in these poses. Hiragi's intelligence. It's kind of like Isagi's, but I feel like there's some definitive difference. Hiragi uses a lot of data to control people. He tries to force people into his own conception of things. Okay. So the difference between Hiragi is that Hiragi never expects things like chemical reactions or awakenings or data breakthroughs. Or literally data breakthroughs in the sense of like characters going beyond what he already knows of them. Meanwhile, Isagi inputs that into his data analysis, especially by the time of Neo Egotist League. Meaning he can be a lot more flexible. And notably, while Hiragi seeks to control, Isagi does seek some variation of control, but usually he seeks integration and like adding people into his schema of control rather than just controlling the entire field like something of a god. Though he ends up being compared to one anyway. Hiragi thinks blah 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 blah. But Isagi believes in people enough to transcend that sort of thinking. In episode 9, we gotta glaze him. But it's true. It's probably why he's my favorite character. Bounce back. Bounce back. And Rhea believed in someone as unpredictable as me, which ended up being his downfall eventually. Let's see. When nobody else did. I mean, to be fair, no, you weren't doing anything, Bucka. What was he supposed to believe? Let's see. That's right. Up until now, somebody was always believing in me. But there's nobody like that with me anymore. I mean, Barou and Chigiri very specifically opened up this match, or this chapter at least, with the declaration that they were trying to keep you. It's like they clearly believe in you, buddy. But regardless, once again, to fit the point of the chapter, I get it. So, from now on, woo! Spicy. Never mind. New thumbnail. New thumbnail just dropped. Let's see. I'm gonna believe in myself. But the thing, he does. That's the thing, though. He doesn't. How do you... We're gonna have to justify character regression. That's the thing about prequels. This can't stick. This literally can't stick. Because we know he doesn't. He gives up so quickly after... Man, and look at how fire this orb... Man. Your death itself. Okay, Hiragi, hop off his... Golly! Death. Oh, he got Hiragi tooting it up. God, Nagi. Live on air, live on... Oh, he pushed... Oh, I didn't realize he pushed Hiragi down. Got bro tooting it up for him. Golly. Okay. Okay, talk that talk then. Right. Even without Isagi or Reo, I can fight on my own. Yeah. Overcame my weakness for now. For now. There will be character regression. But overall, W chapter. Once again, I like it, though I think it runs into prequel problems. That's it. That's the only thing I gotta say. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave death itself in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reaction to every other series that I review, along with ad-free variations of all my videos, and you can $25 patron or $25 member to order whatever video you want. Now, I do thank you so much for watching. Once again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Nagi with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members: Connor Plays, Greyhound, Atkins Void, Astro, Red Wolf 4765, Eternal Flame, and Teen Mitgao. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 patrons: Steron, Sean, Panda Goat, Midnight Lord 21, Metal Solid Crisis, Kevin, Ignil, and EHAC1. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 member, Autumn Mornings Lazo. And I'd like to give a big thank you to our $10 member, Jay Warrior. And I'd like to give another thank you to our $10 patrons, Joaquin and Idemokami. Along with another juicy thank you to our $25 patron, ChinaDoll09. And I'd like to give a final Giga Gargantuan thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.